the statement here to the statement here. What did they do? They did not distribute. They did not do like term. They added one. They added one to both sides to get rid of that negative one. So our reason is the additive or the addition property of equality. Addition property of equality. Then how did we get from statement 2 to statement 3? They divided. So this is going to be the division property of equality. For our reason 2. Subtraction property of equality.
Oh, sorry.
That would be correct. Multiplication property of equality. That is also correct.
These are a lot easier.
Any questions? To 2. We did distribute, so that is the distributive property. Then how did we get from 2 to 3? That should be the subtraction property of equality. Because we should have subtracted 27 from both sides. And then the last one is the division property of equality. Okay, all right. Okay, how did we get from 1 to 2? So what happened? They got rid of 6x over here, right? So how do you get rid of a 6x? They had to subtract the 6x on both sides. Because notice how we had variables on both sides? So you have to subtract 6x to get rid of it here. And then 8x minus 6x is 2x. So this should be the subtraction property of equality. No. They are like terms, but they're not on the same side. If they were on the same side of the equal sign and you put them together, then yes. But because they're on different sides, we had to subtract.
Number 3 is addition. Yes.
The number 3, we had to get rid of the subtracting 17 by adding 17. So that would be the addition property of equality.
Number 4 is division. Yeah.
Then to get rid of the 2x, we would need to divide by 2. So that is the division property of equality. And then what did they do from 4 to 5?
They did that little the thing we was learning about the P and Q. I reckon they did that P and Q thing.
Well, they swapped the order, right? Instead of saying 12 equals x, they didn't say x equals 12. Okay, that's called the symmetric. And can you read that green? That's not very good color. Let me change. That'd be the symmetric property of equality. Whenever you have two things that are equal, we can just change the order of them. Okay, how did we get from 1 to 2? We did. So that's the distributive property. And how did we get from 2 to 3? We did combine like terms. Yes, they were on the same side. So the way we say that is we simplify. If you put combined like terms, I wouldn't count that wrong, okay? But the way that they typically say that is we simplified. Am I right or am I right? Okay. Then we did what to get from 3 to 4?
Subtract. Yes.
they subtracted 12x. So that's the subtraction property of equality. Then we add 14. So that's the addition property of equality. Then I divided. So that would be the division property of equality. Okay, so I've got... So we always write the given first, right? So 3x plus 1 equals negative 14. What's my reason? It's given.
And then you're just gonna subtract.
All right, let's just. So now, if we were having to solve this, we would subtract 1 from both sides. So it would give me 3x equals negative 15, because they would have the same signs. So you would add the numbers, keep the sign, right? So what did I do to both sides?
Subtraction property of equality.
Subtraction property of equality. And then I would need to divide both sides by 3. That would give me x equals negative 5. And my reason is...
Property of equality.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
What's the first statement?
The statement is the given.
Yeah. So we're going to write down the problem. And the reason is it is given. I like that. All right. Then what would be the next thing? Yes, good whispering over there. I like it. What would be the next thing we would do? Yes, listen to them. Distribute. So what would it look like after we distributed?
2x minus negative 18 equals negative
2x minus 18 equals negative 10. And what did we do? We distributed.
Yes, sir.
That's what
Was it?
Well, how about you do the next thing? Come on, show us how you did the thing.
What would be next?
Okay, do the next thing.
2x
Hey, hold on. Record you.
You're going to see what Corey's got here.
2x.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, thank you. B2x equals
Yes. And how did you get there? What did you do to both sides? Mm-hmm. So that would be the addition property of equality. And then what would the next one look like?
x equals 4.
Yep. Divide by 2 on both sides, so we get x equals 4. Because we divided, right? So that'd be the division property of equality. First thing we would do, we would write down the problem. So m over negative 3 plus 10 equals negative 1. Reason is it's given. All right, what would I do next?
Next, you would subtract 10 to 1 and get negative 11.
I would subtract 10. So I would get m over negative 3 equals negative 11. And I get that by subtracting. Okay.
Then the next step, you would multiply -3 to -11.
Uh-huh.
You get cancels out 13 by itself and you get 33.
M equals 33. And that was by the multiplicative or multiplication property of equality.
There's your answer.
This one?
Who let Jonas should have went to the Eagles?
Okay, so first thing, we have writing the problem down. 5y minus 1 over 2 equals 7. And the reason was given. Then what would we do next? We would
2 to 7.
multiply by 2. And the reason was the multiplication property of equality.
Then it's addition.
Then we need to add 1 to both sides. So that looks like 5y equals 15. And that was the addition property of equality.
Then you would divide 5 into 15 and get like, there's 3 division property.
Yes.